Welcome to the Kentucky Line. I'm Matt.
And I'm Clifton. So coming to you day 2 of the SEC tournament. Kentucky gets another victory to advance to the third round. I guess what will be the quarterfinal round of the tournament with a 78-72 victory over Missouri. So Matt, what stood out to you this afternoon?
Well, there's a lot that stood out to me. So I want to the positive is uh, we won the game. That's the biggest positive. But also, I thought we played good, pretty well on the offensive end, especially in the first half. Seemed like we moved the ball well. We were getting seemed like we were getting to the spots we wanted to get, and we were just kind of clicking offensively in the first half. And honestly, in the second half, I thought we uh, just kind of got into after we got the 16-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
We do what we do. I don't know what you thought, but I just knew we were that wasn't going to be the end of it, and that they were going to come back because at the end of the day, I think this team just has our basketball IQ. I'm
Yes.
not sure is great, um, and that goes even to Oway. And just one, obviously Oway, 21 points, and we've got to have him. But situational basketball sometimes escapes us. And for example, the play that comes to mind is when Colin Chandler gets a steal late in the
Mm-hmm.
game, and we have the possession, and he throws it to Oway, and instead of kicking it out or slowing it up like he should, just dribbling it out and getting set, he just goes ahead and shoots a fadeaway shot with three guys on him,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just stuff like that drives me crazy. So, like I said, I think all in all, we played uh, pretty well and we got the
Mm-hmm.
win. Defensively, we obviously had our deficits and again at times, but overall, I'm happy with the W.
Yeah, I'm just like you. To me, the biggest takeaway for me was this team's basketball IQ is not good. I don't, I hope that changes. It's hard to imagine a team with this much experience. Um, it's going to, but uh, that same play you said was one of the two that stood out to me. And it even started before that. Chandler, great defensive play. Then he just kind of trips over the 3-point line or something. Does manage to save it away, and then I felt like he just, instead of, like you said, pulling it out, he just like, well, we're on a fast break. I've got to shoot it, and so no situational awareness. The other one, into the first half, you're up 12. You have
Mm-hmm.
all the momentum. Things had started clicking. Uh, I think there's like 31, 32 seconds on the clock. And then you have like 25 seconds on the shot clock, and Jasper just pulls one from 30 feet.
Yeah.
And you knew what was coming. They immediately go down, shoot a three, make it. What should have been at worst a 12-point game, potentially a 14 or 15-point game, now is a 9-point game. Then, to make matters worse, we call a timeout. The user lose it. I understand why you call it. But to me, why even call it if you're not going to run anything? They didn't. They didn't make a single pass. They didn't set a single screen.
Well,
It was
here's
just
the yeah. Well, and here's what I'm thinking about that. I thought the same thing, but I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say that the play was not for Aberdeen to dribble it into the baseline and shoot a shot.
I hope.
My guess is that there was something drawn up. That's what I'm saying, and that goes back to the IQ thing. I think that we were talking about, and and just the situational type stuff. I mean, I just can't imagine that was what uh, was the call.
I don't think so either. But it was just, I was like, dude, what's going on there? Uh, and the only other thing there was if they just ran somebody in isolation. They thought they had a mismatch, and the timeout was pretty much just get Jasper Johnson out of the game and put in somebody that at least more capable. But for me, the big takeaway, like you said, Owe was good. Aberdeen wasn't great by any means. He's still, at least shooting. I mean, still 7 assists to 1 turnover. That trend has continued and has kind of sustained this team for a while. But Chandler's back to shooting the ball well, a little more aggressive. He wasn't, and I thought a lot of it was he just didn't disappear on defense. He stayed engaged, and that was a positive. I should have done what I said I was going to do yesterday and cashed out my life savings and bet it all on the Garrison 0 points, 1 technical, because that would have hit. Because you could see that coming a mile away.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
but
I
even
mean,
in the 9 minutes he had, and the box score backs this up. Um, Defensively, I thought he was pretty solid in
yeah.
those limited minutes. I think he had 4 blocks, and so I thought,
He had
honest,
4 blocks, and we were lucky that he didn't cost us 2 points, and
yeah,
when he because he absolutely goaltended the heck out of that ball,
yes,
and
that is a
we'll
bad goaltend.
we'll take that no call all day because we may lose the game if they get that call right,
Hmm.
um, and you know, but yeah, I agree with you. I thought he did pretty well on defense.
And but overall, I was pleased at this point. Like we said, it's the time for nitpicking is done. I mean, you're going to change what your team is in November, December, not March 12th here. You kind of are what you are, and it's survive in advance. That's all that matters. And now you have an opportunity to go play what is maybe the team playing as good as anybody in the country, a team that is a legitimate, contender to win a national championship, and a team that you've played as well as anybody has, even though you've lost to them twice. But Missouri, you know, they're a good team. They're not great by any means, but we just had a hard time, especially in the second half. Mitchell went off, and we could not contain him. And even when we did guard him well, he was, banking in threes from 25 feet. Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he was on a heater.
he was, and honestly, I thought there were a few times where we didn't play, the best defense on him, but for the most part, I'll say I thought we guarded him pretty well. I mean,
As good as we can.
he made 6 or 7 tough shots, man.
Hmm.
I mean that a few shots where I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, take that shot. That I mean, just really contested shots, that I'm happy with as it's leaving his hand and somebody's all over him. I'm like, okay, well, we'll give that shot up, and he just kept making the
Hmm.
daggone things, and so I really defensively. I mean, obviously you're going to have some breakdowns,
Right.
throughout a game, but I was pretty happy with the defense for the most part. Um, it's just it's it's the things that happen when we had that 14-point lead, or did
Mhm.
it get to 16?
So yeah, 16.
Yeah, we had that 16-point lead, and I felt not 1 ounce confident,
Yeah.
and which I hate
Yep.
that feeling, but
I'm the same way. You
I
just
didn't
know what's
feel
coming. You can
yeah
see
I
it.
because what happens? Why? Every single time, and we talked about this yesterday. Every time we get a lead, a double-digit lead, which isn't very often, but when we do, we immediately give up an easy basket for whatever reason, and then we go down and just start jacking shots up.
Yep.
We don't let the offense come to us. Aberdeen today, he a couple times he just starts jacking threes, and um, I just felt like, or we turn it up. We get lazy with the ball. It just seems like it just. I don't know if we get just get a little lax with the lead, and or what, but it's every time.
Hmm.
It's every time. You can just count on if we make a run and push up a lead 12-14, you can just write it down that they're going to go on a 7 to 8 point run right after that.
Well,
It's
our shot selection gets so bad, And then honestly, it was that last 12 minutes of the game. Like, I want to think, if I'm not mistaken, we were late in the game and we only had like two turnovers and we ended with nine. And I would think at least five of those last seven came within the last 12 minutes of the game.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. We did. Yeah, our shot selection. We start. We don't take care of the ball well. We miss a few kind of shots that we should make. I mean, I thought Aberdeen. I'm fine. I mean, with Aberdeen getting into the lane and
Mm-hmm.
shooting a 8 foot floater, and he missed about four of those today.
Airballed one of them.
Yeah, and and so I mean that's a shot we want,
Yeah.
but and so yeah, it's just one of those deals where I don't, like I said, this team just kinds to tend to lose its mind
Yeah.
when we get a lead like that. But hey, you just got to win by 1 point, like we talked about, and I'm just happy. I think that solidifies our. We're a 7 seed for sure now,
Yeah. And
and
six is on the
and
table.
6 is definitely on the table.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just with you. The one thing I would like to see, and I think this goes to our basketball IQ some as well, but we don't take advantage of mismatches very well, and I think it all goes back to that same problem. Like the big kid that was 7'5", when they're starting center, I think Phillips was in foul trouble most of the game. That the big kid could not guard anybody. He didn't move well when, especially laterally or having to get down low. And I feel like we get abused sometimes where teams just sit and pick and rolls until they're forced to switch onto a good mismatch, and we never can do that. I just don't know why we couldn't, because he was there for the taking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought the same thing. I mean, get somebody out, get him out on the perimeter a little bit to where he has to guard somebody, and
And then they gave up that pick and roll to him where he got the dunk. But I'm like, how are you giving that up? Because all you got to do is literally bump him, and he's, you know,
yeah. And I will say, one play that has nothing to do with that, but that just kind of came to mind was when Aberdeen hit that shot to put us up 5, I think.
hmm
The he got absolutely killed.
yeah, he did.
Go back and watch that. That Phillips, or their big man, he body checked him out of bounds.
Yep.
I cannot believe. I mean, I mean, luckily he made it, but I mean, I cannot believe they did not call a foul there, dude. It was,
And then
it
what
was
made me
crazy.
mad was that, like, he was like over exaggerating, like that his hands were straight up. I was like, you can foul with your chest.
Well, his hands are straight up, but he's going full speed
Yes.
with his chest and just drills him. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, there's a few things like throughout the game that I was like, what in the world?
Well, I'll tell you
But
another one. To me, I mean, I know Garrison's, borderline psychopath,
yeah,
but, you know, you have to allow a guy to say about whatever and defend himself when a guy comes to your huddle to push you.
that's right. I agree. I mean, they always call it on both for whatever reason, but in this one, I mean, the guy's coming at Garrison. Although I'm sure Garrison was running his mouth,
Yeah, but I mean, he
but
was giving guys five. I mean, if you're going and doing what you need to do and not headed that direction, you're not going to even know that.
that's right. And then and the guy comes to him, and I thought the guy initiated the contact
Oh,
too.
without question.
So yeah, I thought that was. I'm with you there. I thought the same thing, but I knew they were going to call it on both of them. But but it was just fitting that it was Garrison,
Oh yeah,
right?
you knew what was coming. You knew it. Uh, well, let's talk a little bit about this game tomorrow. I don't know what much else we can say because we've talked about Florida already twice this season, and they are still exactly who they were a week ago. They are perhaps the best team in the country right now, especially I think after Duke loses their point guard, which is probably for the season. I think Florida, Michigan are probably 1 and 2 as far as favorites to win the whole thing, in my opinion.
Well, they're playing as good as anybody. If and I really, I mean, they've got all the pieces that you need, and Yeah, I mean they're definitely got to have to be uh, top three.
Yeah,
I'd say they're top three favorite. I mean Arizona's really good
yeah,
too.
that's true.
Um, and so, but I think Duke losing Foster um, drops them to. I think they were probably the favorite.
Yeah, I do
Um,
too.
but losing him, they're still going to be really good. Don't get me wrong.
I just think
But
it'll take kind of like a heroic effort from Boozer, which he's capable of.
yeah, I mean they're still going to be really good. But I think the favorite now you're looking. I think Arizona, Michigan, Florida,
Yeah,
are your top three teams.
yeah, I would agree with that. And again, I think it's just going to depend on, you know, our bigs are going to play better than they've played either game. Uh, Especially Marino, he's going to have to come in there and rebound. We're going to have more of what the yesterday's version of Garrison's, not today's. And because ultimately, Florida, even when they miss shots, they're still a threat to score off offensive rebounds. You're not going to get a lot of second chance looks. The spread is out here just lately. It's 10.5 currently, opened at 11.5. Florida favorites, which is kind of surprising because we've played them single digits close to the last game. Though really wasn't as close as it looks. I think that's probably what hurts us. But should be a home game for Kentucky. A lot of blue was there today. A lot will be tomorrow. Personally, I think I've shared this with you off the air and with someone today. I think either Kentucky miraculously wins it or we're beat by 40. I don't see a game similar to what we've had the last two where we've kind of hung around. And it's got one of those feels. If Florida comes out hot, I think it could get ugly.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. I'm a little worried that we're going to get blown off the floor. Um, but we have to. There's a couple of keys that you kind of already mentioned though, or we've got to rebound the ball. We have got to put a body on their two bigs
Yeah,
and
Chinyalu and Condon.
Condon. And then when Condon and Chinula are in there at the same time, I think we have to have Moreno and probably Garrison.
Yeah,
I just don't think Yelovich is he's got the strength
no,
to deal with those guys, and the Hawk, however you say
yeah,
his name, I he's a bad matchup for us.
yep,
But I think if we can uh, get Cam to play a little bit, if he can get his legs under him a little bit more, I feel like he might be one of the better matchups uh, with him, just lengthwise. Um, I'm just not sure if he's ready uh, to really be able to guard him like we need to. So my guess is that we're going to put Owe on him, um, even though he's undersized. But uh, he'll have to beat Owe down low. Right? I think Owe can handle him on the perimeter. And then the other thing is we've got to get back in transition. That
yep,
killed us in the game against Rupp. And so, we can play with this team. We know we can. We've done it twice. And so it's going to boil down to uh, rebounding, making some shots
yep.
again.
And like you said, I think this team needs to get back in transition, but I think also they play a little better when they're moving a little faster. So they need to get out in transition, even though we're probably about a 33% success rate on fast breaks, but just playing faster, I think, helps this team. I think they kind of stay in more of a rhythm because this team is not just an offensive powerhouse where they're going to be, breaking you down with half court sets. So I think they need some, freedom of movement, and hopefully they can do that. And we're talking about a win tomorrow night.
Heck yeah, man! Listen, two wins down there so far. We just need let's keep it going.
Yeah, I think. I mean, here's the thing with this game. You know, it is a tough game. It's not unless you just get stomped, which is on the table. This Florida team can embarrass you like they did Arkansas a week and a half ago. But if you just kind of hold serve and are respectable, a 6 seed's there, And if you win this, this is the toughest game you have to a conference championship. Uh,
Yeah.
this team, it's a big step down to Tennessee and Vanderbilt. I think in really probably anybody other than Alabama, and I don't want to see Arkansas again either. But ultimately, either way, we'll be back to talk about it tomorrow evening and keep everybody updated. And we're going to try our best to go live Sunday during the bracket show. And regardless, we'll have our predictions, and I'm looking forward to it. Sunday's one of my favorite days of the year. I've loved it since I was a kid, so I'm looking forward to talking about it with my good buddy here. And also, just here as we sign off, Duke is down 15 minutes to go in the second half to Florida State, and Houston and BYU's back and forth 15 minutes to go in that one as well. So some good ball games on tonight. Love March. Anything before we wrap up, Matt?
Just to reiterate what you said, man, Sunday is one of the best days of the year in sports for me as well. I love it. It's been takes me back to uh, cutting out the bracket in the Lexington Herald every year, old school, and filling out a bracket when I was a kid, man. So yeah, it's awesome. The March Madness is awesome, and let's just keep this momentum, man.
Yep. Let's do it, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow night. So go Cats.
Go Cats.